Hey everybody, this is the week 3, week 4 review, and I wanted to go over some of the things that I saw while I was grading the papers for week 3, and then go over some of the assignments that are due for the upcoming week 4, or for the week 4 that we're in now. Okay, make sure that you're checking your announcements. I do post there quite a bit, and with me doing these videos, it's even more so. So for week 3, you had your discussion questions. Now, when I graded these discussion questions, many of you are still missing out on the, in fact, let me go to the rubric real quick so that we can look at that. Okay, as I said in the beginning of the class, the discussion rubric is what I use to grade everyone on the assignments. So what I do is I look at, number one, I'm looking at the quality of posts. Were your responses appropriate? Were your comments reflective and respectful? And I'm also looking to see if you are providing at least 100 words per post. If you're not providing 100 words for every post, then I do mark off for that. If you are not posting the minimum number of posts, 4 separate posts on 3 separate days, then I will not be able to provide you with a grade of excellent, due to the fact that it would be unfair to those who did provide me the minimum post, who did provide 100 words each, an excellent, if you had not provided the minimum number of posts. So I will mark off for that as well. So by not providing the minimum number of posts, which is in the contribution to discussion section, you are hurting yourself in other areas of the discussion rubric as well. The relevance to the topic, I'm looking to see if you answered the questions thoroughly, as well as did you read my response and respond to that. Now, when I respond, I will tell you that you're on track, or you're off to a good start, but here's what I need from you now, because you didn't necessarily give me all the information that was needed, and I try to get it back on track. Some of you responded to my responses and others have not. So I would encourage you to read my response and then respond back if needed. For the contribution to discussions, did you post the 4 separate posts on the 3 separate days? Some of you are not posting on the 3 separate days but give me 4 separate posts, so therefore you're still losing points. Some of you are giving me maybe 2 posts on 2 days or 1 day. Again, losing points. These are all unnecessary points because if you're timing your posts out, you should be able to get that done. The mechanics of the post. Here I'm looking to see, did you give me an in-text citation? Did you give me a reference? Many of you still are not doing that. I've encouraged you to go back and look at the APA. If you don't understand it, to give me a call so I can help you through that. And also look at the references and citation page in the APA section of program resources so that you can see how it's supposed to be formatted. Then I also look at spelling and grammar. And here is where I get a little frustrated, because at the beginning of the course I did say that I would be grading heavily on spelling and grammar because you are documenting medical records, which is a legal document. So I provided you a video within the announcements section called How to write your discussion post in Word, then copy and paste to Blackboard. This video takes you through on how to do that. And by doing that, you will save points by not having incorrect spellings, not placing commas where they don't belong, making sure that your sentences are grammatically correct. So make sure that you look at this video and incorporate it into your discussion post so that you don't lose unnecessary points for spelling. And again, make sure that all your posts are at least 100 words in length. Now, for week 3, again, we did the discussion post. You also had your OSHA assignment. Many of you completed that and did very well. Again, you have to have a 70% or above to pass the class. So if you haven't done that, I would encourage you to go back, get it done as soon as possible, and you can retake this until you get the score that you need. And then the quiz. Again, most of you did well on this and submitted on time. Others did not submit that. So I will need to, if you did not submit your quiz, I need to hear from you so that we can talk about it and figure out where to go from here on that for the week 3 quiz. Week 4. Your reading assignment this week is the patient is an individual, the communication process, and chapter 23, performance improvement and customer service. So for your discussions this week on week 4, your first response will be to review pages 335 and 336. It's the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And according to our text, what are the 5 levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? So Abraham Maslow created this hierarchy of needs, and he said that you have to meet one need before you can move to the next level of needs. So what they're asking here is for you to identify how does Maslow have his hierarchy ranked. Then, in your own words, list your order of the needs that means most to you, from most important to least important. So I want to know, based on your life experiences and what you're bringing to the table, what are your needs that need to be met? What is most important to you to be met first, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth, based on your life. And this exercise is always interesting because people come to the table with different life experiences, different need prioritizations, and I think you'll find that in life, or when you're in the medical field, your patients come to you with different experiences too. It might be what they're going through medically, it might be what they're going through in life. So that's why we do this exercise, to teach you that there are differences. Then you have your second response, where you'll review pages 515 and 517. Be able to identify the difference between an internal customer and an external customer. And then identify or list several components which are used in determining quality of care, which is contained within your reading, chapter 23. And then I want to know, what are some aspects of quality improvement? What constitutes quality improvement? Again, this listed within your reading. And what I'm looking for here is that within your reading, you'll see that in medical or in medicine, we should never be happy with where we're at. We should always be trying to improve our processes, our delivery, whatever it might be. We want improvement, and it needs to be quality improvement. And with that, you want to maintain or decrease costs. And your main goal is to decrease costs while increasing quality. But if you can't decrease the costs, at least maintain them. So that's what I'm looking for that question. So make sure that you're reading the question, you understand what it's asking, and you're answering that question in full. Okay. Then we also have in week 4 your written assignment. Now for the written assignment, it is not required that you submit this to the OWL. However, I would suggest that you do, just for your own benefit, so that they can review it and make their suggestions. You incorporate it into your final draft before you submit it on Sunday or before. So what you want to do is you're going to review the Thinking It Through green box, which can be found in your textbook on page 520. Reflect on the scenario and identify your feelings regarding its content. There will be questions at the end. Go ahead and answer those questions. And this is considered a formal written paper, so you will need to write it in APA format. You'll need a separate title page. You'll need no abstract. You'll need the body of your paper with the in-text citations, and then a separate reference page. Now the body of your paper, not including the title page or the reference page, excluding those two, the body of your paper, your writing, has to be 250 words or more. And it should be in Times New Roman, double spaced, 12-point font. So those are all part of the APA. So make sure that you're writing that. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to call me, contact me, and we can discuss that. If you want me to preview your paper to make suggestions, I can do that as well. Just email it to me or email it to the OWL, whichever you prefer. I'm not going to go as in-depth as the OWL would because I'm also developing courses and grading papers and teaching you. But I will look over it and make some suggestions based on what I see. Now don't forget, also in week 4 you have your final exam and your post-test. These are both graded assignments, so they are both required, so make sure you get both of those in. There will be no extension of dates. The class does end on Sunday, so I do need everything submitted by Sunday at 11:59. Actually, that's the review for the week. If you have any questions about the assignments from week 3 or the upcoming assignments for this week, week 4, please give me a call or shoot me an email, and I will respond to it as soon as possible. And I hope to see some of you in the Kaiser Live session. Have a good night.